Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin A.K. Tags.
I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
And we're into it. Episode 296. We're ready to go.
In it. Can you feel me?
Can't you tell? Big shout out to our Patrons. Thanks everybody who's resubbed up this week. Love faces. Patreon gets you access to After Dark. It's our podcast after the podcast. And we just keep talking. Just keep going.
Yeah, we do. This one's going to be great. This After Dark's going to be the best of all of them.
Ever. I'm not drinking. I'll tell you that much.
Why? What's wrong with you?
I don't listen to our episodes, and last After Dark I had to because I had to take a lot out. And I was like, oh, Justin, you sound like an idiot.
So I wonder how much you would have taken out from any of the other episodes. We've done like 230, 260. I think how many did episodes?
We were like 30 in.
30 in, yeah. So you got like 260 episodes to go back and be like,
no, I won't ever. I'll never listen to them.
No,
not for me.
I couldn't even imagine going back and listening to any of the other ones. Like, as a human being, as a dad, as a husband, like that kind of stuff. Not you. I mean, when I say you, I meant the general public. But because you specifically are just like a real low, like real low bar. But everyone else, like when I look at myself as a husband and a father, or just a person, friend, I look back to what I was like 2 years ago, and I'm like, I'm pretty embarrassed. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I've been the same person my whole life when you don't think about it. But when I take a step back and I remember some of the things I said or mentalities I had or decisions I made, I'm like, oh, dang. So imagine going back.
No.
Like, we've been doing this since 2019 now, Justin, or I guess the beginning of 2020 to make it accurate.
Yeah, it was 2019 though. We're going to count it.
Well, officially it was December, but yeah. So you go back 5 years, 4.5 years. I don't want to listen to those anymore. Like, we get some new people that show up, or some old timers that maybe started around episode 100, then they go back to listen to the first few hundred.
Props to the people who stuck it out since we read
blessings on you.
Read patch notes in episode 1 or 2.
We read them all. Some old schoolers that have been with us
I love
since day one.
Yeah,
there is somebody. So Justin and I are patrons of ourselves,
obviously.
But like it's not like what do we lose? Like, we lose whatever the fee is. You know what I mean? Like, you don't if you pay $7, you don't get $7 type of thing. But anyway. So,
we're such fans.
It's good. It is. We love us so much. But no, it's like just one of those things where it's good to know, like, when you log in, like what it's like for the user experience and that kind of stuff. So we're patrons of ourselves. But when we decided to eventually put Patreon out, which wasn't something we were ever going to really do, somebody signed up before us.
I think you're right. That's right.
There is, and I'm specifically not shouting them out just because I don't want to like make any patrons feel like more or less than the other.
But we are
really love you. But no, it was hilarious to me. Like, you and I, okay, so yeah, we got the patron thing going. Okay, now let's both sign up. And we were doing that like within the few moments that it was there. And it was like, bam, there it is. I don't know how it happened, but it's hilarious. So we actually have
a patron originals.
Who's an older patron than the host.
That's awesome.
Anyway, funny stuff. We love you all. And of course, those who listen as well.
Yep. How was your week?
Except for YouTube people.
I love that we keep going on YouTube people. That's so fun. You're all right. You're all right.
Oh man, how's your week? You go first. Tell me.
My week. It was good. It was really busy. You know what I don't understand? At this point, with the amount of drugs that I take, the amount.
Come on, man! I had to spit it back.
Let me get it all out.
With the amount of drugs
that I take, the injections I've had into my body, all of the things, I don't understand how I'm still in pain. It's so annoying.
I don't understand how you're still alive. Like, you're doing all this to.
I got the survival instinct has kicked in, but I like this last month's been bad. This past week's been worse, where my right leg just sometimes won't move to where it's supposed to move to when I'm walking. So I've like stumbled.
Who needs a right leg when you're driving? Hey,
yeah, it's brutal. So I'm just holding on. July 11th for my consult for my surgery. So the first episode after July 11th will either be me being very happy or me just being like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. This is the last episode. Justin's it. He's had enough.
That's right. They've signed their agreements, their wills, and that's right. She's looking for a new man. So
that's right.
Anyway,
but otherwise,
though, well set up, and Justin will have a generous will. So any suitors in the area,
you'll be loaded for life. My week was good. It was honestly just really, really busy. I was driving around a lot. I was in meetings most of the week. I found out last night that there was an announcement that I missed for Path of Exile because I had completely forgot. I was catching up on Discord. So you
didn't get your helmet skin?
I did not. I had finished. I only had Sunday off, and it was just so I could watch the race. I worked all day Saturday, and then the week's been nuts. But I realized last night that there was an announcement, so I watched the announcement last night. And I haven't really been doing much else. You know what I've been having a lot of fun with this week? My girls are really into cooking. Like both of them love to cook.
Nice.
And so this week I had a lot of fun making a couple different new recipes. Or one was new, one was not, with Sophia. She loves cooking. Both my girls love cooking. But so her and I, we did some pulled chicken smashed tacos sort of thing. On the I don't know what you call because I bought this flat piece for our barbecue so that you're grilling on just a flat piece. I don't know what they call that. There's probably a word for it, but I'm just going to call it flatty
for the barbecue.
And so we did tacos with some dip that we made ourselves, which was so freaking good. It was my first introduction of the kids to hot sauce because my kids, we don't have a lot of hot sauce on anything.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I don't want them to grow up like me and be pussies about hot stuff, right? Because Christina was the one that shifted me. I grew up on like mild everything. There's no hot sauce wasn't even a thing. And then I started dating Christina. I was like, whoa. There's a medium. There's a hot. Hold on a second. And I don't want my kids to be like that. So Sophia and I, our dip that we made for these tacos was with hot sauce, and everybody was like, I don't know. And now my girls love it. Good. So much so that we made smashed chicken burgers again, which was so fun. Sophia and I make them, and they're so much fun, and make all the ranch dipping for it and everything from scratch. And they actually went and got the hot sauce out of the fridge to put it on.
Oh, good. Burgers. I'm glad that worked out, because I was injecting Erin with hot sauce while she was pregnant with both of our kids.
Yeah.
I was forcing it.
You're a big hot sauce person. Tyler, I remember going out to eat with him. It wasn't good unless he was sweating. His nose would sweat, and that's how you knew it was good. And I was always like, that seems uncomfortable.
The napkins were for the sweat on my nose.
That's right.
Not for the goop on my face.
No. So yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun cooking, but I'm tired. I'm just really tired. So yeah, good week though overall. Like the week was good. We have a beautiful weather and everybody's happy and healthy. I had a good chat with Ethan this week and he's doing well. So,
good.
Life is good. Nothing to complain about.
Independent man. Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear it, man. And I also want to shout out, like, you say you're busy a lot. How was your week? In our community that's familiar with you.
But yeah.
No. Like, this is, I'm praising you. So shut your face. The community always jokes, like, when they like paraphrase our conversations amongst themselves. So just know you're busy. Mm-hmm. Hey, so what'd you do? Busy. Oh, I was busy. Was good. I was busy. Actually, I have some gears to grind. I was busy, but you always make time for family.
I love my family.
Do such a good job. Well, yeah, that helps.
They're lucky.
But yeah, that's right. Yeah. But no, like, you do a very good job, despite the fact that you are very busy. You always make time for your family. You do a very good job at prioritizing your loved ones. So keep it up.
Thanks, buddy. I mean, in the end, work is just work. My family is the stuff that's with me. So they got to put up with me. But you know what? They've been good. I try to make sure that I'm free in the evenings, and sometimes I'm on my phone. But this week, actually, I didn't even get to hang out with Christina at all. We always watch TV at night. Like, her and I hang out almost every night, but Monday. And Logan and her have been watching Hardy Boys, some TV show, Hardy Boys, and freaking jerks.
Come on, man.
Taking up
Look
all
at my
my
bookshelf.
time.
What do you mean?
I know what
TV
Hardy Boys is,
Hardy
but
Boys.
it's a TV show as well. Christina read all the books too, and that's why she got Logan into it. So he's been taking my time with her at nighttime to watch Hardy Boys. So I'm like, well,
selfish prick.
I'll go play Space Engineers. I'm literally just looking for something to play. I put Space Engineers back on my computer because it's
you can help me with my build.
One.
You can play it.
I play who? What? Oh, in Path of Exile. Yeah, I guess I gotta get back into that because there's some stuff. I guess there's some new whatever things. Anyway, that was my week. How's yours?
I had a good week. Thank you for asking. Hang on a second.
Oh, you have to show me. I get it. You have Hardy Boys. Yes, I get it.
I know. These aren't just Hardy Boys, Justin. These are the
Hardy
original.
Boys.
No, look at it.
I remember those.
It's original.
What was that? The Mystery of Cave Island?
Cabin Island.
Cabin Island, of course.
Seriously, like your first time.
Cave Island would be way better.
Look, I'm like going in.
Do the pages still smell like
we're gonna get hit? Yelled Joe. 1966.
Do the pages still smell like 1966? It's got to.
There is something. I remember once when, who was it?
Brett.
One of us got a Bible for our birthday.
And you were so mad at Brett. Yeah, yes! I got one.
You remember? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so people,
got so mad. That's the only reason I remember it.
There is a new book smell. I didn't know I was a book fiend then, but there's a new book smell. Like when you especially if it's wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's and a lot of Bibles, especially the softcover ones, they're wrapped when you get them, right? And so anyway, I don't remember why you got a Bible for your birthday.
My parents
I'm sure you were
probably save him.
Yeah, you were really excited. I know. You're like 13, 14 years old, whatever it was. You get a Bible for your birthday. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but it's like Brett knew. Like there's a thing. People know that there's a new book smell. You crack those pages early and you flip them through your thumb and you
smelled it and you were so upset. Not even at the moment, but you brought it up with me later. You were so offended.
It is. You don't even know. So here's the thing. You get that.
You'll never get that back.
Books. No, you don't. You crack it that one time. You get. And Brett, he leaned over and he did that for you. He on purpose, though. It wasn't like he was clueless.
I don't know.
He did it on purpose. No, he had that smile on his face.
Oh, so funny.
Oh, he did it on purpose. He was a conniver.
Okay, you showed me your books. How was your week, though?
But anyway, I had a good week. I read Hardy Boys all week. No, I didn't. No, it's been a good week, man. I played some PoE. I had some time for that. I had some energy for that. Yep, PoE 2. I've had some time to write and consider and organize. And a lot of times, when I say I'm writing, I'm doing something poetic. And so my writing is sometimes what's happening is just flowing really well. And I can write a whole page in an evening. But sometimes my whole evening is trying to figure out 2 lines.
Yeah.
Because I'm limited, but I'm also trying to be concise. I'm doing my best to have as little information or words in there as possible, kind of thing.
Where would you say you're at in the stage of your writing? Are we at the 50% mark, the 10% mark?
Third.
Okay. 33.33 repeating.
Yeah. Someone's about to die. Yes. And that's one of the TSN turning points, TSN turning points. Sportsnet doesn't have a Sportsnet turning point, do they? That was a TSN thing.
I have no idea. I don't watch
the
sports.
Sports Network. Get out of here. It doesn't even have a sports channel. So but sometimes it's just organizing. I'm like, oh shoot, actually, if I really want this to happen, I have to change this and this that happened before. And those aren't just quick fixes because I'm doing things in a systemic rhyming, poetic fashion, right? So all of a sudden I'm changing a whole stanza because that stanza just matches itself perfectly. And then if I change a small thing later. So most of it's already really well organized in my head, but every now and then there's something, of course, that you don't think of. So
do you have the full story in your head?
I know exactly what I want to happen. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I'm really excited for it too. But anyway, so regular listeners will know with my concussion and I just don't have concussion life, and I just don't have the energy. So a lot of the times it's okay, well, last night I watched The Accountant 2, and I love The Accountant movies. I probably love them way more than I normally would because of my daughter, but I just picture Ben Affleck's autism character. The situations they put him in to show off his character.
I felt they pushed it a bit
autism.
heavy in 2. It was he was a bit more heavy like that in 2 than 1. But it was still good. I loved it. Christina, I loved it.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that just flowed naturally with the involvement of the brother, who's just a dickhead.
I love him. Whatever. I can't remember his name. As an actor, I love him.
Billinger.
Ever since Punisher.
Yeah.
Well, I liked him. I didn't really like him in Walking Dead, but Punisher, love him.
Yeah. I hear what you mean. So anyway, but like my evenings when I have energy, I'm like, okay, well, I could play Path of Exile, or I could watch The Accountant 2, or I could write. I have dreams and aspirations of doing something after I choose one of those things, but it's not going to happen. Like after The Accountant 2, I'm like, okay, then I can play an hour and a half Path of Exile. So I watch The Accountant 2 and I'm like,
bedtime.
Okay, bed. Yeah. And I'm like out until my alarm. Like I'm asleep before I hit my pillow. And it's the same thing with everything else. So I was able, but I had the time to do it and I quite enjoyed it. And like you said, it's been gorgeous weather. So I mowed the lawn this week, which doesn't sound like a big feat, but it was because of the energy I was putting elsewhere. And we have somebody regrouting I had to hire somebody because I needed elbow grease. And so elbow grease is upstairs working to regrout the bathroom upstairs.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And that's that.
I built a bed.
You built a bed?
Yeah, my girls got a bunk bed.
Oh, have they always shared a room?
Yes, they've always. We have the one room that's massive upstairs, and so we moved once we had Maya. We moved, I think, Logan out of that room and put the two girls into that room.
I remember when Eth left, Logan couldn't wait to move into that room.
Yeah, well,
I think he said something like he was.
It was weird though.
Like,
Logan had the big room at first, and then because Ethan lived at home, and then when we had, I don't remember how they all shuffled around, but eventually when we had Maya, we had 4 kids living in the house, so we had to give the 2 girls the bigger room. So yeah, Logan would have been in the small room, which is why he would have been itching for Ethan to peace out because he got a bigger room. But yeah, they had 2 singles or whatever. I don't know what they're called, singles. So they got Christina wanted I was told the girls wanted. I'm not really sure who wanted, but anyway, we bought a bunk bed that has like a double or bigger size underneath, and then also they build. Let me tell you, bunk beds nowadays. I'm just gonna say it. They're making bunk beds for pussies. Like they are at the tall height of the top is like 4.5, 5 feet off the ground. I was taught when we built it. I said both Christina and I are like, what the fuck? This is like half the wall. Like when we had bunk beds, you could hit your head on the roof. And if you fell off, you okay. Like get back up. I couldn't believe how low these bunk beds were. I was like, oh my gosh, what are they scared? Kids are going to fall. It was so funny. We were building the bed and the girls are up on the top bunk and they said something about how they're going to get down. And Christina had just walked out the room and I'm like, just jump. And both girls looked at me and they're like, what? We can do that? I'm like, sure. Just jump. Just make sure mom's not around. And they both just laughed. They're like, you're so different than mom. She's gonna hear this now and be like, what? Anyway, I was surprised how low they are, but yes, we built a bed.
Congrats to the girls.
Yep. Let's talk about Path of Exile. There were a few things.
There were. Your lawn looking good?
Yeah, it's looking dandy.
Samesies, just
had some work
nice
done on it.
Thick.
Didn't even know about it. Just got a bill.
Didn't even show up, but here's the bill.
He texts me if it's going to be something that's going to be concern for the dogs or humans. Just so that I can make sure I get my dog out on there as soon as he does die. Yeah,
that's right. To die. Mm-hmm. Good. Well, I'm glad it is. Mine's looking nice and thick, but it's still growing into the garden. And there's something about those bare spots in my lawn
just
where the grass is just like, nuh-uh. I'm not touching that with a 60-foot pole. And so it's true. It doesn't.
It's a feature.
Yeah. It doesn't even want, like, I'll do seed, water it perfectly, sun it perfectly. No.
Put a planter or something.
I don't even think so. Yeah. I am just going to have random planters.
Like planter.
It's like those, you go to that house and they have like all these clips on their ceiling and it's like all these like hanging plants in really weird places. But that's actually where they just use sex swings. But they need something to show that it's not for a sex swing, right? Pretend that it's not. So they just have planters hanging in a really weird area.
You're like, all right, whatever. Do your thing. All right, let's talk about Path of Exile. There was some stuff and news.
There was. Now, you care about PoE 1.
Yeah,
right?
We're always going to
care about PoE 1.
We have to now.
Oh, I know. Look at what I did. Look at the template.
Tell me.
Look, I changed it.
This week in PoE. Oh, you have a Path of Exile 1 header.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
But I put Path of
there were
Exile
more links down there? Oh, I didn't even get to those ones.
Yeah. Thank you, GGG, for making us pay attention to 2 games now. It's going to take forever. I'm joking. So people are excited.
It is good, and we're going to get into it. I just have to point this out. Jonathan in his like talking beforehand, I think it was before as he was getting into his announcement, committing to 4-month leagues. I was like, why? How have you guys in the history of GGG not realized that promising things, especially date related, it's not worked out? It's just not worked out well. Why are you promising it now when you haven't even done it? Like, at least do it for like 2 cycles and then be like, all right, this is what we're doing. I just find it crazy to be like ahead of time.
Right now, it's like now.
Yeah,
promise.
Starting
and
now.
No, they know better than I do. But basically, now it's on 2-month cycles.
Well, essentially, there's the split between the two. Yeah,
right. But when they're using their he emphasized many times in his interview, his best employees are just going to be swapping back and forth.
Oh, did he? I didn't listen to the after.
So
thing,
now they don't even get 3 months on said project. Now they get 2 months on those ones. Granted, other people are working the full 4 months on other things. And maybe it was just the crunch of like those nitty gritty things that need to be getting done. But you know, those people that he emphasized, those key people. And I always feel bad. He's like, yeah, we just need to have our best people on this. And I'm always thinking like, we have like 300 employees and you keep like talking about these like core 12 or whatever it is. And it's like, imagine you're like, you feel like you should be one of those 12, but you're number 14 or 15.
You're working your way up to it.
You're one of the people that aren't bouncing between games. You're like, oh, I feel pretty special.
I count too.
Yeah. So, yeah, but anyway, it's not, they know what they're doing. So
we'll see if they do. I mean,
true.
I just found it crazy when I heard him say, so now we're committing to 4-month cycles per game. I was like, guy, you haven't done that once yet. Like, what are you talking about? We've been over a year now for the Path of Exile 1. Like,
so what is this August for the next PoE 2 patch or thing? And then they said 2 months after that for the other one. So, okay. So here we are 2 months away, right? From PoE August.
Yeah.
And then we have 4 months after that is December.
For PoE 2 specifically.
Right. So 5 months after August. So you're only 2 expansions away now because they've committed to doing things at a specific time. You are 5 months away, PoE 2 wise, from 2026.
We're not getting the now, full release. It's not happening.
But now that you've committed to these schedules, you have a lot of content that's going to be coming out with these like every 4 months, like the acts and the classes and the skill balancing. And do you want to do skill balancing after you release oodles more content or so many more bosses with extra acts? Because how much more do you have to pay attention to? How do you know if the skills are valid or not when you have all these other details to consider that are, that determine if a skill is working well or not? So there's that. I really hope they have that schedule of what, I mean,
it'll be interesting to see
because just a lot. It's just a lot of content. It's not a criticism. It's a lot. And when you think of it in exactly 4 months at a time, man, biggie.
It's a lot of work I mean, this PoE 1 expansion, like it looked like they cooked for a while on this one. It's big.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of new stuff, which is really cool.
It wasn't something that it seemed like they threw together quickly. Like they took old assets and like rehashed them quick to do something else. Like, and not a criticism because that's a very valuable way of doing things for the company. But, when you like rehash something a whole and you put Scourge monsters somewhere else. Right. Yeah, exactly.
To bring in a whole story arc means you've got that's a lot of work.
But even doing like a companion thing, NPC allies, like the mercs, right? Like, just there's a lot of new to this. Whether it's new coding wise, I don't know, but it's definitely not a familiar territory where it's like a revamped version of strong boxes, right? Like you could do essences and strong boxes, like it's, essence is basically a strong box, just a little bit different, right? It's an enemy instead of a horde, right? But this doesn't seem like anything that we've done before. So it is, like cool. You said, a good compliment for things that they've done. You didn't get your Skull of Undeath helmet skin, did you?
I did not. It looked really cool what it does. A lot of their stuff that they brought out. I watched the video though, like the intro video, and all I could think of through it was like somebody has been playing Clair Obscure because they have the red flowers. It just reminded me of the homage in Clair Obscure where the flowers sort of are the bodies being taken away. and you're disappearing into these red flowers. And even they have like an animation when you're close to a waypoint where it's like a sort of a gold colored flower thing, which is also Clair Obscure for the ones who were for the different characters. It was interesting to watch because that's all I thought of was like, oh, they've been playing Clair Obscure.
Jonathan said he was.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't watch the Ziggy thing, so I don't know. I could be rehashing old stuff.
Either, or I saw a tiny bit of it at the beginning. I don't remember. Anyway, now it probably wasn't. Now it was probably Fallout 3 for all I know. But yeah, really cool. I actually really did like that skin. So I didn't take any notes. Path of Exile 1, not as a criticism. It's just in terms of the amount of time I had. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I really am only going to have time for one game, and I'm very excited for Path of Exile 2. So I was a lot. Chat was joking with me about if they needed to pay attention to the broadcast or if we were going to update them on the podcast when I was watching, because I was broadcasting during the reveal. So people could get the skins, and I was like, you're not going to get updated on the podcast. You're going to need to listen to this now or on the VOD. Oh, I know you do, and I'm happy to, but I didn't, like, there wasn't anything.
You didn't take notes? I wouldn't either.
There's two things. There's two things.
Well, for me, I thought, I mean, we talked about this in the past. I thought that I would be done with PoE 1, even if they came out with new stuff. But I also said back then that the reason I would go back to PoE 1 is if there was a problem with PoE 2. And I'm not saying there's a problem with PoE 2, but for me, PoE 2 just needs work still. And I can't get into it long term like I used to be able to with PoE 1. So I will be going back to play 326 and playing this new expansion. And I'm excited to try it out. I think a lot of the stuff that I'm excited about, I don't know that I'll get to actually experience because it's endgame. Like a lot of the new cool stuff is very, very endgame related. But when I'm not playing in a hardcore mode, then it's less of a stress. So I will be going back to 326.
And your town is all set up now, Justin.
I said King's March was, and I saw people telling me there's no way it's going core. It can't go core, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not saying it is, but I just want it to. And it is, and it's already built. And that's freaking awesome. I love that. I am so excited it's still there.
It's still weird for me that shipments are a part of the core experience.
Like, it's just something you can do, though. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
I get it.
It's
but
like
now
Delve.
I know, but now how many hubs are there?
Well, there's a lot.
Yeah. And I'm supposed to care about my hideout, but what's the point of my hideout?
Well, you can't run maps from King's March.
Right. So now I have King's March. Now
I have to go hang out at different places.
The bestiary. I actually love that they still have the bestiary in there because there's no point to it at all. Like you could simply just make that a menu system, right? Which I think they already do. It's in the book. So like there's no point except for like actually just going and looking at it. But again, there's the bestiary, but that really doesn't count. But then you also have
the thieves or whatever that place is called.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of places to hang out.
I was half expecting when they came out with the Betrayal revamp that they were just going to have a hub for them too. A hideout for that.
Well, I think there is one in Act 9, I think. It's where you can get, I've had it happen before in one of the zones where you have to go into the like syndicate hideout.
Yeah.
I don't know why or when it shows because it's not every time, but
anyway, congratulations on King's March, Just.
Yeah, so happy about that.
Toodles.
Well, you knew Faustos was not going away.
No, but he's already in the other one anyway.
Yep. And I saw people saying that King's March is just passive and free, which I can understand that, except that I can't run King's March without playing other content because I won't have gold and I won't have and you don't have the ore. So like, I don't feel like that's true, that it's just this passive thing that's gaining you currency or items, because you still have to do something in order to, I get that it's not the same as Delve. If I go to Delve, I have to go to Delve and fight through the Delve. But for me, King's March is like, it's built into the mapping experience. I'm going to find the ores. I'm going to collect the gold, and then I'm going to go to King's March and use those currencies to do something. So I'm glad it's there. I really, really liked King's March. And the fact that I don't have to build it up, it'll be my first time being in a fully built up King's March, because I tried so hard in our private league and I still kept dying. That was the one thing that kept bringing me back, was like, I was so close. But
there's a few things that you still need to level up, though. I think the city's fully built, but there's still leveling that needs to be done.
Was there? I didn't think so.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I know that they've added stuff to the Atlas passive for it, but yeah, I don't know. I was excited it's still there. I honestly,
that's cool. That's right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that would make sense. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. The Atlas passives, they did quite a bit of changing. I saw the Mercenaries of Trarthus or whatever, the actual league content part. I don't feel like I got a full understanding of, even watching it. I don't fully get. Is this the companion
a long time
part?
on it? I totally zoned out. No disrespect to GGG. It was just like I was distracted. Honestly, during the broadcast, like while I'm broadcasting the reveal, I was like, I wonder if companions can, like, you can only have one. I was updating myself on what companions are like in Path of Exile 2. So while I was broadcasting, I was looking at the other screen and I was like, wait, companions, that's right. Okay, so it's a rare, up to 4 mods. You can only have one with a couple exceptions. And they're permanent. They're kind of like specters, but they're not. Okay. Oh, right. Spirit cost. That one's variable. Okay. And so I was looking at companions on the tree.
Is companions
during all of that? So I only
is companions
got
the league? Is that what the
companions is Path of Exile too?
No. But in Path of Exile 1, the companion you can have with you, is that the league? Is that the Mercenaries of Trarthus? Is that what the story? I feel like I must have missed it or something. Hold on.
Secrets of the Atlas is Xana's brother.
I know that.
Trying to help you find Xana. And so then there's those misty things that you...
Yeah, but that's not till late game. And I was like, well, that... Because they said in late maps you'll find those. So
I think it's... I don't think they're related. I just think they're trying this out along with the league content that is Xana's brother.
The companion is the league. Okay, I just read it. So veterans have journeyed to wraeclast from lawless cities of Trarthus that ready to offer their sinister services. Okay, so the mercenary person that you have with you is the league itself.
So maybe Xana's brother is just like core right off the bat.
Yeah, that's game. You're right.
Oh, but no, the league's called Secrets of the Atlas.
No, it's not. It's called...
Oh, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be on their t-shirt next. Oh.
So Secrets of the Atlas is...
I should have paid attention, hey?
I don't actually know. I could be wrong because it says Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas, but the Mercenaries of Trarthus is the Challenge League. This is where I got confused because when I was watching it, I was like, hold on. I'm only experiencing the new stuff at the very end, but then the Mercenaries of Trarthus is the Challenge League, which is this new 326 league. So
I heard Mark say something along the lines of like, you can fill up your whole party with mercs.
Get out. I thought you were limited to just one.
I don't know.
Huh. We should pay more attention.
I was in the middle of researching companion stuff. I had a busy day. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I gotta go. So then I was like signing in and I'm like, I feel like I'm all...
Can accompany you.
See, you heard it here first. Whole party full.
And I think you can equip them with stuff too, which is pretty cool. I'm curious to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
I've heard things about it. I've heard some things.
Yeah, lots. You let me know.
I will be playing it for sure. And we'll chat about it because I will not play Path of Exile 2 probably till their next update.
Wow. So, like, you're not talking August.
Yeah, probably.
You're talking like major, like letter patch,
August.
Right?
August is their...
What are we on right now? 0.2.1?
Yeah. I probably won't.
So there's going to be a 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.3.
Well, who knows with them? We don't know. I don't know that will be enough to pull me back. So it'll depend. It's so funny though. I was watching the gameplay of Path of Exile 1 and they're talking about the changes. And I feel like Path of Exile 1 is this fun place. You can be super powerful. You can move fast. And then I think like, well, but why? Path of Exile 2 is like, whoa. Slow it down. We want you to move way slower and do everything slower. I just don't, they're so weird because it's Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2, but they're not similar to me. Like right now, I feel like Path of Exile 2 is too slow and too grindy. And Path of Exile 1 doesn't feel like that for me. So
it's interesting because at the end of the day, I'm curious. I mean, I'm sure you're just going to make the games into whatever they evolve into, making the decisions that you make based on what's presented to you short and long term. But I'm curious if originally they were planning on, I'm sure it was the original one, but I wonder if they'll be content if it's not, if each game or if both games don't scratch the same itch. You know what I mean? Like originally Path of Exile 2 was supposed to be like the same game with the shared end game, right? And then they split it up. And then it's obviously progressed quite a lot. And we've praised GGG nonstop for not being sticks in the mud about certain things, being willing to change everything and anything.
Sure.
And it's been really interesting to watch that process. And it'll be even more interesting now that they've decided to 4 months guaranteed new content. So, but I'm curious if GGG themselves are happy with the possibility that Path of Exile 2 could be a completely different ARPG experience in the terms of you want to scratch this itch? Well, we have PoE 1 for that. You want to scratch this other kind of ARPG itch? Well, we have Path of Exile 2 for that.
I'm curious, how they would determine what that other itch is. Because an ARPG is, I want to get strong and I want to mash monsters. I want to kill everything around me and I want loot. Loot is the core of an ARPG. It's this, you're grinding for gear. So what a great name. Like they nailed that one. But
Agreed.
I'm curious if there is a different itch for an ARPG that Path of Exile 2 could fit into, because I don't know.
It's tough because players don't even know that itch a lot of the time.
I don't till I'm into it.
Right. Like it's not something like rarely can you be like, that's it. That's exactly what I want. Right. So for me, like I'll sit down and I'll like turn on Madden and then I'll be like, nope. So I'll turn on Age of Empires and I'll be like, nope. Then I'll turn on movie. I'm like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times just as a person, you just don't know what it is that you want, let alone a company that's trying to like focus all of their effort and they have to make a choice. Well, where are they funneling it to? What's the final goal? What is it that's so important? And like you mentioned, loot, I've been playing PoE 2 now and I've been really enjoying it. I've been getting way more rares than before, but I'm having the most horrendous luck, right? Like I'm still like magic everything for all my gear. I'm lucky to find resistance.
Are you using the crafting stuff as well for that? Like, are you using the regals?
I'm using what drops.
Okay.
But I'm only using artificer orbs for the sake of like using runes. I still only have 8 of them, right? But I'm salvaging everything that can be salvaged, right? Whether it's quality, whether it has sockets or not. And then, but it's just every single thing that's dropping is like evasion based. I'm energy shield based, so it's either evasion based or it's all damn crossbows and spears. And I'm like. Like it just, I'm not getting wands or scepters that are rare. Oh, yeah, totally. But not even half the gear is out yet. There's a lot of drops happening now, a lot more than there was before, which is fine. But it's just like, it's in a state where you can get a regular unlucky RNG streak. How much does the game need to cater to that? A regular unlucky streak. And keep in mind, if it's possible to have a pretty decent regular unlucky streak while you're playing now, what's going to happen when you double the amount of items that can drop? Because all those classes and base types are finally out. So they still have a long way to go with loot, but it's not necessarily like it's just something that has to happen with process, right? And figuring it out slowly. And Path of Exile 1, despite the fact that I absolutely hate and I will constantly cut the company down for their loot attitude in Path of Exile 1, not maintaining their own filter, not dealing with that in over 10 years. It's a horrendous loot experience. Thank goodness for
the filter blades. Yeah, never sync.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things where Path of Exile 1's in a really good state. Like I am excited for people that are going to be playing Path of Exile 1. Like this is going to be a sweet league. Like they have just, they've had a year to dwell on it and figure it out and whatever. But I mean, we all know that the league hasn't been like being tested and worked on for the year. But the point is they've really done a really good job at releasing leagues for a long time now. And this is like, they know it's going to be almost a year, right? Like they know they need to nail this. And even in the past when they didn't feel like the need to nail it, they were just doing it for the sake of quality. I'm really excited for PoE 1 people. This is going to be really good.
Are you not playing it because you don't feel like you've experienced all you want to experience yet in PoE 2? Like, is that what it is? I imagine that's what it is.
It's two things. I only have so much time.
Right.
And so it's, to me, it's not, I like both games, so I'm going to play both games. It's, I like both games. I only have time for one.
Right. So then you feel like you haven't fully done what you want to do yet in PoE 2?
Well, yeah, but because remember, I don't have a lot of time. Like I'm doing like 4, maybe 6 hours a week in Path of Exile 2. That's not a lot. And so when I'm trying to find like, okay, well, I need to try out these skills or this archetype or whatever, if it's not working, okay, well, is it because the game's not tuned properly? Is it because the skills aren't working properly? Is this just a really bad boss? Like, you got me past Jamiroquai the other day at the end of Act 2, and I've been flying. Mm-hmm. It's been great. It was just that one boss that was hiccuping me for 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Or 1 week. But still, like, that's progress. But that's a bunch of time that I don't get back. And so now I'm in not New Game Plus. I'm just in Cruel now, Act 2 in Cruel. And I'm flying through. I'm having a great time. It's all good. It was just I was hiccuped by that one boss, right? And minions, of course, they're not in a good state, but they're starting to get much stronger now that I'm in, the final stages of Cruel. So it's just one of those things where I only have so much time. And if I try something out, like, you have to try things out, right? And you can only trust the community, not our community. Like, it's not a criticism to our community, but just communities in general. They hear somebody say something, and it's like, okay, well, that's the way it is. Where I like to try and see if that's just the community being really picky and only playing what's pinnacle, right? So I try things out, and that takes up time. Oh, okay, shoot. Well, that didn't work out. Okay, so now let's try something else, and let's try this and that. And that all just takes time. I really do want to see what the end game is all about. There's been a million end game changes. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, you haven't seen that stuff, which makes sense.
The last time I tried end game, it was one death a map, and like, it was still off-screen stuff wasn't being touched at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I also was like negative resist by the time I got there because of the state of the loot. So when you think about, like, the G patch came out, that's when loot actually changed. That's when even skills that haven't been very optimal to use have had a chance to be a lot more influential while leveling. So basically, I've had only since the G patch.
And the patches following G were great. Like, so it really just got better. So I can understand that.
After G came out, I didn't have much time to play. My health wasn't fantastic. And then we had the private league. So I've only had like 3 solid 2-hour sessions since G came out to really try and progress things. And part of that was you getting me past Jamiroquai. So to answer your question, though, that's just a long way of over-explaining that I am going to stick with PoE 2, but it's only because I have to choose between the games. And I'm really excited for the loot now that G has been out. So I really just want to give that a good shot.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. That was kind of what I thought. Because, like, for me, I feel like I've done what I can do in Path of Exile 2. I've experienced what they currently have. And so that's why I'm excited for the next bigger patch. I would be way more. I would probably play Path of Exile 2. First off, I would play it way more. And it would be more competitive for me to play it versus this new 326 league if they did something about the leveling process. If the leveling, there are things I would love to try in PoE 2, but I will not do the campaign again until I'm forced to because of a brand new thing. Unless they come out with something that makes it better, it is not fun. It is the worst part of that game. And not that the campaign is bad. It's just too long. They have to find some way to make it faster. So for me, I know I can get a guy to end game in Path of Exile 1 relatively quickly, and then I get to play.
Oh, yeah? You got a guy to get your guy?
No, I know I can get a guy. Don't get me in trouble. I wouldn't have somebody play my account. I know I can get to the end game.
I guess you can swing it that way too. I just meant like you got a guy for everything.
I do, but not for
that. It was a long joke.
That's all me. So yeah, cool. I'm excited to try it out. I don't know all the details. I'm looking through it and I'm like, oh, there were a lot of stuff. I don't have anything specific to bring up. I'm going to play it. I'm excited to play it, but I probably won't get to play it for probably a couple weeks. So I will play it though.
I mean, they have a crazy amount of quality of life changes, which is really cool. So one thing, and I am super excited for this, even though it's not going to impact me at all, considering the time I have, like I said, but I am super excited for this. But there's a small part of me that I'm like, you need to make a patch just quick. So Animate Guardian now retain their items when they die. However, if your Animate Guardian dies, you cannot resummon the Animate Guardian until you're back in your hideout or wherever.
Like that forever ago.
It should have been, yeah. I mean, remember, Animate Guardian came out before 1.0. Mm-hmm. It's been out since beta.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2 things. I think that's a really smart change. I think that's really great. I love the give and take of that. Makes sense, right? 2 things. Before this league comes out, please, just for the sake of principle, put on the gem. Just come out with a quick fix that says, Animate Guardian items are deleted. Like, there's nothing in the game that tells you the items are deleted. Now, this fixes that. Right. But I want them just for principle. The same thing with SRS, where SRS for about what was it, 8 years, didn't tell the user that it was physical damage converted to fire. Even when it was only 50%, it didn't say it. Herald of Agony still doesn't say that it's 60% physical damage converted to chaos. It still doesn't say it. I just want them, before it becomes irrelevant,
Not going to happen.
to put a little patch in that says, "Dear Wrecker, animate guardian items die on death."
Delete.
And then 2 weeks later, it becomes completely irrelevant, and they have to change the gem back. I
don't
just
think that's
want them
going
to
to happen,
do that.
but
No.
I get it.
Also, all these changes are great, but if you don't add a UI for our animate guardian, it's still going to be very clunky.
Isn't it bizarre that they wouldn't have a UI for animate guardian, but now they're bringing a whole brand new UI for your mercenary companion? It's so bizarre to me that has a full, beautiful UI. Animate guardian?
No. Now, it might, and maybe they'll surprise. Maybe they're just waiting to surprise users with it, right? I mean,
I doubt it. That could be its own patch. That could be its own patch.
But it does. Like, to me, this is one of those things where it's almost like, Spectres and Path of Exile 2. Hey, we finally have Spectres ready to play. And it's not, because you still don't have a UI that shows any damage types for Spectres. Like, there's nothing that says what the different skills do, and you don't know which skills you're adding supports to, like which ones are relevant or not. Like, they're getting very Path of Exile 1 with the Spectres being quote unquote ready, but it's not for the user. It's only ready for the developer side. Like, hey, we finally got this to work. All right, let's put it in, but it's not ready for the user. But it's the same thing with Enemy Guardian here. Like, that's awesome that they're at this stage, but user wise, you still need to know what items they have equipped once they're there.
Yeah, it definitely would be helpful.
Hopefully, I'm not saying it's not, because the patch hasn't come out yet. I really hope that's there. That's what it needs. And then it's like, now I can play it. Now it's perfect, like Olaf would say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I saw, and I am very excited to see what people come up with.
Sweet.
All the animate guardian guides that people are going to be willing to do.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I will be playing it, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
What else we got?
So, this week, I was playing PoE 2, and I was just progressing, and the kids are like, they really know their Act 2 bosses, because that's all I've been doing. So the kids are watching, and like, oh, you're at Gianor, oh, that's so cool. And the kids are like, because I let them play, so they now know what a whore is, but with a childlike description, because Gianor, when he jumps down, only in the first one, because when you redo that fight, which I totally have never redone the Gianor fight, which, by the way, GGG, that fight is almost there. Like, those changes you made a while ago to that fight they're so good. Like, there's still a few
every time. I'm trying to think.
Gianor is Gregory.
God, okay, thank you.
Yeah, Gregory.
Yeah.
So with the Gregory fight, it's almost there. Like, they made some really good changes to that fight to make it like doable. There's still some like pure RNG aspects that there's some timing and duration things that need to be done. But yeah, it's much, much better. And so
speaking of whores, what?
Right. So, the first time you go down
to
fight Gregory, there's some enemies there that you have to fight first, right? That are mining or whatever. And then his wife's also there, and they have that little interaction. And then she goes and takes up, the thingy thing. But as you keep needing to go down the elevator, which again, to emphasize, I've never needed to do, but I've heard from a friend that if you need to keep going down the elevator, those enemies aren't there anymore.
Oh, they aren't?
The wife isn't there anymore.
Noticed.
Yeah, I know. it's just a friend told me. I haven't noticed either. But then the cage isn't there either.
Mm-hmm.
So that interaction with his wife isn't there anymore. But the first time that happens, she's talking, and then later on when she's like, no, I'm not going to help you anymore. Then he's like, oh, you whore. So anyway, I had to explain the kids' version of what a whore is. But anyway, it's not nice.
He's just angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, it's so anyway, but there's that. And then of course the Wrathbreaker they're very familiar with. And why did I get on this?
I'm not sure. We talked about Path of Exile 1 stuff being done, and then you started talking about playing
so
Path of Exile 2.
And I'm playing just before dinner, and we were just doing lasagna. So that's you just throw it in the oven, right? And so I'm playing while we're waiting for lasagna. It was my daughter's turn to cook, and so they only get like an easy. My kids take turns cooking, and you only get an easy meal like once a month kind of thing. So lasagna was her time for an easy meal, and so they're watching me play as we're waiting they're not allowed to distract themselves. You know what I mean? Like they got to like, even if it's something, they're not allowed to just accidentally let something burn because they were outside playing and they couldn't hear the oven beep. So they got to stick around. So they were watching me play. And long story short, I had to pause because it was dinner time. So I turned it off because that game, just like EA games, when you have to connect to somebody else's servers, they don't quick resume really well, which is an Xbox feature. Like it loads the game quickly. When you have to load to another server, it just doesn't like, you get disconnected from the server. So there's no point in the quick resume. So I quit the game. And I love that Path of Exile does this, where you can just like, you basically, no matter where you were, that's where you start off. Even though the fog of war is back, when you're at a boss gate, it doesn't matter. So I love that they do that. So anyway, I go and I quit. And then as I'm quitting, I see there's like, 20 minutes till realm restart. And I'm like, oh, weird. I didn't think the games were connected. Like if they're doing a patch for Path of Exile 1, which is what I just finished watching right earlier in that day, they're, setting up a patch for like their support packs and stuff. You're just used to that on like those days. Then they release a patch later on for their support packs. And I'm like, weird. I didn't think the realms were tied together at all. Like that's odd. Okay, well, I thought they were separating themselves from that, but whatever. Maybe it's just a beta thing. And I'm like, I swear it wasn't like that before. So anyway, we go and we have dinner, and then the kids are getting ready for bed. So I'm like, yeah, right, let's get this up. I just want to fight some more Gregory again. I mean, I totally don't have to redo that fight. So I load it back up, and I've passed the Gregory fight. I go and I beat the Wrathbreaker, and like things are good. I'm in Cruel. I'm having a good time. I go back to town, and I can't sell stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? The sell button changed. And I'm like, what? So when I go, they had a patch for Path of Exile 1 in between, like at dinner time for me.
You mean for
so
Path
I'm
of
playing
Exile
one
2?
way. Sorry, yeah, for Path of Exile 2. My apologies. For Path of Exile 2. So the games are completely disconnected.
Yeah.
It was just total coincidence that
they came
I'm
out at the same
watching
time?
and they had a patch for PoE 1 and for PoE 2 at the same time. And on controller support, the sell button's different.
Dude, I hope
it
it matches like the one thing I was bitching about in Endgame, where they're not the same. All of a sudden at the Endgame, you switch between Y and X. And I was like, why?
It's RB now.
Wait, RB?
So I don't know. Yeah, but they said they made the change to make things consistent. So I don't know how that's different in Endgame and Endgame menus. Yeah, so I don't know. But it was funny because my brain it just wasn't clicking that, of course, Path of Exile 2 at any point could have a patch.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when they added all these other features, like all the volatile plant nerfs that they were doing and all these other things. So there was a lot of relief, but it was just funny because like here I am, I'm selling, and then I load it back up. And then all of a sudden the sell button's different. And that was like a 40-minute.
What a weird thing to experience.
Yeah,
You're like,
but then it was like, yeah. So I like, so my brain just obviously wasn't working, but it was kind of cool. So then I read through the patch. It was a huge patch.
Yeah.
GG put out.
Also, you just said something
that was the 0.1 patch.
You just said something that reminded me of Path of Exile 1 that I forgot to mention. Pause in Path of Exile 1. Amazing.
Yeah. Really cool. They added that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
really
even
neat.
like when you're in your skill tree, amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah. Really cool.
I saw this one for PoE 2.
I heard it. I don't know if that's going to be in the recording. Yeah. Probably your fault.
But from what? I just crackled.
I don't know. I was sipping coffee.
Yeah.
That sounds like a monitor thing, like your 8th monitor that you were supposed to plug in.
That's a cabling or something. I don't know. Hopefully that's not going to.
You have cable problems,
hey? Still doing it.
Where? Do it again.
When I just started to. It's random. Now it's probably in my head. I just heard it.
There it is. Yeah, me too. Every time we have this, it's one of you replace a cable and it works. But I feel like your cables last like 30 seconds.
I don't understand it because I can't tell if it's just when I get louder or.
No, you know what it was in the past? When we would talk at the same time, like talk at the same time as me.
Okay, so now I'm talking.
There it is.
I'm talking. But I wonder if that's actually in the recording, if that's actually heard it.
I don't know.
I'll make a mark for 55 minutes and I'll take a look in the actual thing because I wonder if that's just us hearing it in Discord because Discord's weird. I won't know until it's out. If it crackles.
All right, people, a little less chemistry because now we can't interrupt each other as much.
We'll put our
now
hand
you're going to hear
up
Justin talk way more than me. Hey, don't talk at the same time as me. You're going to screw it up.
Yeah, see how bad we are at it? It's a conversation, people. People talk at the same time. Anyway, I saw the 0.21 patch and it's big. I didn't read through all of it though. Was it good?
It's all great stuff. I mean, all the end game. I don't care about uniques in the sense that I don't plan around them, but it's really fun when one drops and it works for the build that I'm doing. But they changed how uniques drop. They changed like amulets, for example, just as a class. have a different drop rate than boots and then gloves and all that kind of stuff. And so unique items are no longer tied to the class drop rate. Unique items have their own individual drop rate based on if they want that to be a chase unique or where it unlocks and all that kind of stuff. So they changed that, but yeah, I can skip through that. And then there's the end game stuff that I haven't experienced yet. So there's a bunch of different changes there. But I mean, there was just some generic changes like all that volatile plant stuff, a whole bunch of different ways to do it. One really cool thing is volatile plants are one of those like on death effects that aren't on death effects.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Around.
Well, yeah. So, but they actually, those disappear when the enemy dies now.
Oh,
so you don't have to
they did that
worry
with
about
other
them.
stuff too.
Yeah, but like, I love that. Like, those are the things that killed you in Path of Exile 1, for example. It wasn't on death effect. It just seemed like an on death effect, right? Stuff that's still lingering after they die and you think that it's done. So I just love that they're doing this kind of stuff with PoE 2. Like, these are the kind of things like where people are like, well, maybe PoE 2 will be good or not, or maybe it'll be your kind of game. And true, but like, they're just making changes that are very user focused. You know what I mean?
Find a way to do it with the blood things that are left on the ground. Like either decrease how long they stay or make it so that if you kill those, because it's normally like these little fat blobs. I swear to God, it's doing it all the time now. Where these little fat blobs die, but there's always like a dude that sort of controls them. They should disappear as soon as that guy's dead.
That's on the way to Gregory a lot, right?
In these tiny corridors. It's like, come on.
Yeah, and it's really dark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I keep thinking about BK when she was describing the Cyrus fight or the Sirius fight, right? Who's back, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, let's do red. And then on red with a little bit different shade of red and red and red. And you know what? Why not? Let's make the maze walls. Let's make them a dark red or a black that makes it look kind of red. Like, I really enjoyed that description. So anyway, that's kind of what it's like on the way to Gregory is I just can't see them. Like, all of a sudden I'm low on life. I have no idea if these projectiles that other enemies are shooting are actually really strong or not, because I can never tell if I'm full life or not because of all the degen that's around that I can't see. Anyway, yeah, really big patch, huge patch, right? It's the 0.1.
Of 0.2.
Of 0.2. It's the 0.2.1. It's the biggie. It's the one that's not a letter.
Yeah.
But it was very much based around uniques and endgame.
Yeah. I'd have to read through. It's still crackling to my...
It's only when you speak.
Only when I
haven't
speak.
Noticed it when I speak. Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is. And I hope it's not actually in the recording. I'll have to figure out what it is. I don't know. Replace a cable again. It can't be that.
And I think... And I saw that they posted some item filter information too, for a whole bunch of new runes, talismans, and soul cores. I think that's their first item filter post.
Okay, cool.
It is. I'm not doing anything about it yet, though.
I assume Filter Blade will take care of that for me.
I'm sure it will, yes. Yeah, a lot of really good patches. I'm just really excited to play. I've been really enjoying my time with Path of Exile 2 and the progress and playing with different things. I'm just doing exploding minions now. I'm at a state now where I really think that the spirit cost of minions is just way too high. Like, for me to use just something that's using 50 or 60 spirit, I can have 2 skeletal minions at this stage. Like, they're skill gem level 12, right? I'm in the 5th act, and I can have 2 frost mages, 2 arsonist mages, 1 brute, 3 reavers. Like, that's not a minion build. You know what I mean? That's like a co-op build.
A couple buddies.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not strong enough. And I have all the revive nodes, and it's still 5 seconds that I have to wait for them to come by. Like, if they all die at once.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's still just really not balanced enough, in my opinion. Even if you have to make them weaker, which please don't, but you, like we were talking last week, if you just reduce the spirit cost, at least you're giving me an army. So even if they're weak, like, there's still a little bit more going on. I'm still doing a little bit more damage, right? But anyway, but I've been playing it. So what I've decided to do is I'm just doing skeletal warriors from the Rattling Scepter. They cost the cheapest. They have more life than anybody else. So I'm just making them explode. And then they all die at once. So then my timer, it's not like it's getting reset slightly with individual deaths. They're just all running, then they die, and then the respawn happens, but it's still 5 seconds. So
what are you doing in that 5 seconds?
Running.
Waiting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm casting flammability. I'm playing around with the idea of I'm playing around with the idea of having the curse automatic, or playing with casting the curse and then also casting zombies, but I really like culling. Like when I have a boss and I see that there's not much left, it infuriates me when I choose to not cull. You know what I mean? Like if I choose to have, because right now I'm not culling enemies because the resist, I just cannot, like I was saying earlier, I just haven't had the luck. I'm constantly getting rare crossbows or evasion armor. I nothing that I can equip. So my resists are not, in my opinion, where they should be. I'm getting the drops, they're just not drops for me. So I'm having to equip a focus that I had that did drop 2.5 resists. And 2.5 because like one of them was chaos and it was 10, but the other 2 are 20. So I'm like, I have to equip that, but that means now my scepter has to go into my main hand and I don't have my cull. And I'm fighting some enemies, like some bosses, and I'm like, it's right there. I should be able to just hold right trigger and use that power siphon, just get them. And so I'm trying to find a way to, like, once I get a little bit better resist, I'll add the culling back. But then when I have the culling, I want to use my power charges for something. And there is one hex, like I am enjoying using hexes or curses. And there is one support, abiding hex or something like that, that increases the duration of the hex by like 80%. It'll consume a power charge. It's fine, but I don't need to. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine casting, if it's just one curse, I'm fine casting it often enough because like I like Decaying Hex, Impending Doom, and Burning Inscription, which I can't use Burning Inscription yet. And those don't follow the duration of the hex. They have their own durations and they're not that long. So I don't really care about hex duration that much. So if I was getting away from damage and if I wasn't self-casting, then I could have 3 hexes all tied to cast on minion death. And then those would explode like crazy and I would have absolutely no mana for anything. But those hexes would last a really long time because of Abiding Hex, right? So I could do that, but that's 60 spirit. And like I said, like I need a lot of minions, right? So if I use all my spirit just for minions, there is that node as well where you get like 2% max life back whenever a minion's revived. So the more minions I have, the less I'm using life flasks too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to try, like right now, I'm still not fully invested into minions, but because minions or my skeletons are so weak, that's all I've invested into right now. So I am a little bit more squishy than I should be. Like I haven't invested in myself at all. So originally I was going to do minions and curses was going to be my defense because Enfeeble's just fantastic. And same with Temporal Chains. But I'm like, I'm still debating. Like I have a tree that's for curses and minions, and I have a tree that's for curses and energy shield. I like the energy shield idea, even though I love curses. I like the energy shield idea because that's always there. It's not dependent on like any expiration or anything like that.
I could just see a tail wagging like crazy.
Yeah, she got it. Aaron came down. So it's just one of those things where it's like I really need to get to endgame and experience it and see what it's like. Do my curses last long enough? Is the AoE big enough? Like, is that a consistent, reliable enough defense? Maybe, maybe not. I like the energy shield idea for if I'm going with exploding, you know, that's 5 seconds. If new enemies show up, like going up to Doriani, enemies come from out of nowhere, man. They explore, like they're like running around on their wheels and they show up and like, you think you've cleared an area so you can do this essence. And it's like, oh no, you haven't. Like they just come out of nowhere. So I don't know, like the constant casting for the defense, the permanent defense, but then you don't get I don't know. It's all, I just need the experience. I need to know what it's like to see what it's worth it. And at the same time, like my skeletons are dying anyway. So I may as well make a build where dying has about like all the value that I can squeak out of it. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm going.
Well, I'm glad you're still playing it. I'm losing my mind about this mic. So tell me what else you got. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up.
No,
I'm annoyed.
It's turned into the Tyler show because of course your mic crackle. But no. Don't be sorry. But that's all it is. Like it's exciting. I really enjoy seeing the changes. It was a funny thing to realize there was a patch because the sell button changed.
That's funny.
Find that. It's way funnier to experience. It's probably sounds like crap when you're listening to it, but no, it's all good. So that's where I'm at. I'm really trying to make exploding skeletal warriors work.
Sweet. You have a note here about legends. Did we not post something?
No, I totally forgot, and I still forgot. Where's that post? Oh, there it is. I see it there. Yeah. So congratulations to everybody in the private league that we did last week, but nobody knows. officially if they were a legend podium finisher or not, because I haven't done like the congratulations, here's our list of legend work. Totally forgot to do it. And I even set a reminder for myself to do it. And I think I forgot to set the reminder and I just posted it here to apologize that I haven't done it. So I still have to make a reminder for myself to post the legends announcement.
But by the time this comes out, it will be up.
Yes, I will promise myself and yourselves that between now and when the time of this podcast comes out, I will make that announcement post in Discord. And if you see your name, your PoE name in that Discord announcement, message Justin and I, because remember, we don't really want to make the assumption that somebody's Path of Exile account name that kind of matches their Discord name. We don't want to make that assumption. So even if it's obvious, please message us. Hey, this is me from the announcement. Then we'll be like, okay. And then we'll give you the legend status.
Because right now I'm the only one with legend status and I don't even get the stupid shield because I haven't had time to fix it.
So anyway, thank you for your patience with my rambling, but Justin's going to fix his mic.
I figure whatever's going on. Let's wrap this up though. Forever Exiled 296. I'm Justin AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days without a crackly mic.
It better be just what we're hearing in Discord because if it's in the recording, I lose my mind. Patrons will see in After Dark. Everybody else will see 297. Not sure how that one's going to go, but there will be a 297.
Justin's just going to have like this reoccurring purchase on Amazon every 2 months. He's got a new USB.
Not a USB mic. Anyway.
Do you have like a heat? Well, if you have to replace your cord, is it like too hot or something? Is it like slightly melting a little bit?
It can't. Anyway.
It will be.
We'll see you next week.
Justin's really excited. I can tell.